Today on the channel, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to take the stump to the limits, but we will have a little Devil's Rejects NECA Tiny unboxing.
Kyle steps up, he's on with the mic, a warrior's heart, ready to strike, revealing heroes from every dimension, each piece of story, a bold intention, dude's got no charm, just plastic and strife, this isn't a game, it's Kyle's real life, he tears them apart with a fire so bright, every review a battle, every take a fight, see you later, goodbye, what are we doing?
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another NECA Devil's Rejects, this time unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got the big one, we got Tiny. But for all your tiny needs and a whole lot more, hit up jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 15% like I did. 15% savings on Tiny over there at Jay's Toys and Games. Tell them Kyle sent you by using the code Todd McFarlane. You see what I did there? We're, of course, going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to box it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And we got Tiny from possibly my favorite movie of all time, The Devil's Rejects. The Devil's Rejects came out, what was it, 2005? And absolutely stole my heart. Maybe it was 2004. It always gets a little dicey. But man, oh man, I love The Devil's Rejects. I think I've seen it over the years 12 times in the theater. And coming from a guy that's never seen a Back to the Future, never seen a Tom Cruise movie. Also, Todd, we figured this out the other day. I have never seen an Eddie Murphy movie. Yes, never seen an Eddie Murphy movie. I'm missing out on so many laughs. I can only imagine. But I'm a guy that likes what I like and don't what I don't is what it is. And I don't like those big budget movies. I like the more hardcore, exploitative horror movies, that kind of stuff. And some comedies every once in a while. I'm definitely in my own zone. There's no doubt about it. But The Devil's Rejects, absolutely amazing. Taking a lot of pieces of other famous movies into his own. Rob Zombie made The Devil's Rejects. Just an all-timer. I like House of a Thousand Corpses, but this is way better than House of a Thousand Corpses. Now, unfortunately, I was the highest of highs, the lowest of lows, as the Three from Hell sequel that came many years later after The Devil's Rejects broke my heart into pieces I've never recovered from. That's what's happened with that, but I'll never forget The Devil's Rejects, and I'll still watch it occasionally, as you can imagine. But Tiny here, the first of a re-release, I guess, with the twist with these Devil's Rejects figures. And we're going to dive into it here. And we're going to start with Tiny. Now, I believe Baby is coming, if I'm not mistaken. I got to think old Cutter, Captain Spaulding, will be coming in the future. And then, of course, you got to have Otis as well. Part of the re-release. Now, once upon a time, told this story before, I was all in on the Devil's Rejects House of a Thousand Corpses. I had every single figure, even the prior NECA stuff, but that was before NECA. I think that was when it was still just real toys. Very expensive figures. I had all of them, all the exclusives, the color, different variations on Captain Spaulding and Otis and Baby once upon a time, the Professor, all that kind of stuff, plus the Devil's Reject figure line. But then we did have a kid, yeah, Tom Farley, we were going to have one, and I'm like, the minute you get that news that, oh my gosh, I got a kid on the way, it's like, okay, I got to get some money. These diapers are expensive. There's going to be medical bills, all this kind of stuff. And I sold my complete Devil's Rejects collection. And luckily at that time, they were going for a lot of money. So I made like a bandit. It was good. I made like an amoeba and split, as Jinx would tell us, Todd McFarlane. But I always kind of regretted it. Obviously, it was the right choice. You know, you got to get off to the good start when you get a kid. You got so much stuff to buy. You had to buy a high chair. You had to buy car seats. All that expense. And the Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses basically played the majority of those expenses. So I don't regret it. And I don't regret it all these years later, as those figures are still hard to find. But if you come across those old NECA Devil's Rejects figures, the plastic has yellowed and is brittle and is breaking away. So who knows where my collection would have went. When I sold them, they weren't that way. But they could have had that happen to them. And then what? Are they worthless? Are they worth anything? And then now you get the re-releases with a twist once again with these guys coming. You guys know NECA, any of them, McFarlane, whoever, they're going to want to make the money they can make. So we're getting these back out here. And this could be one of those figures that's better to be just left in the package, as it does display very nice. And I was a Double Up Club member on the last versions. So maybe I need to go back to that a little bit, because once again, I do love the Devil's Rejects. But so far, the re-releases of a Thousand Corpses and this one, I believe, are going to be a little less than their prior ones, which seems really crazy. A lot of wordsmithing going on in this review, Todd. Let's get down to it here. Devil's Rejects logo, very classic. You got Tiny, the big window box here, looking good. Is it an action figure? Is it a statue? We're going to make the final assessment here in a second. looking very good. You got Tiny with his mask on over here. Devil's Rejects on the side. Devil's Rejects on the side. Of course, this was Bigfoot on Howard Stern back in the day. If you were a kid like me growing up watching him on the E! Show and stuff once upon a time, Bigfoot was on there all the time as well. Devil's Reject. Matthew McGorry. I think that was his name, wasn't it? It was Matthew something. McGorry? I think so. But he has since passed away, unfortunately. Those giants, they just don't last a long time. Except my dad. He's hanging in there. He's hanging in there. I think my dad's 120 years old. He's just living like a vampire, maybe. But Tiny looking good on the back. Got the J-hook peg. Let's get into it. Ages and 17 and up on this one, too. It's extra dangerous for those 16-year-olds to be messing with Tiny. There we go. And we knew Tiny took that stump to the limits once upon a time. That was the joke of the movie, and unfortunately, a little less than all these years later is we get no stump. Where's the stump accessory? Todd, call your friends over at McFarlane Toys. Get me that stump. No stump with Tiny here. So we can't take that stump to the limits, but Todd taking those seat cushions to the limit every single night, let me tell you. Let me tell you. There it is, big old twist tie in there. You got to have a big twist tie for Tiny. See you later, goodbye. But now we're going to dive into it here. We do get his mask, and it goes right over the top. And gosh, it's been so long. Was the mask before a second head, or was it an actual mask? Like, I don't recall this. It's been so long. It's been like 14 years since I sold all my figures, I think. That's when my daughter was born. She's going to be 15 here later this month. Send your present, Todd McFarlane. Wild times. We do get the mask, which is basically a big potato sack over the top. And he's got a face only a mother could love. Of course, caught in that fire once upon a time and went full circle with his life in Devil's Rejects, if you've seen the movie. But you do got this mask going on. Very crude, very Jason Voorhees early. There's a lot of homages, Todd McFarlane, to past horror movies in Devil's Rejects. It's one of those if you know, you know type things. We got that going on. And then we got a face, once again, only a mother could love, or Freddy Krueger. You know, he just definitely looks like Freddy Krueger, or Hamburger Head Spawn, or Hamburger Head Deadpool. He's got a lot of brothers out there. But a wild, wild face on him, very creepy. But also an air of sadness about Tiny. I don't think Tiny was all that bad. I think he just had bad circumstances. You're the product of your raisin, I think is what they say. And I'm not talking the California raisins, Todd. 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth, and a long neck on him. Body, big body. He was like 7'4", 7'5", something. He was a giant, obviously. And with those crazy giantism there, you got the kind of wild look to him as he stands here. A little bit off to the side. You got that one hip that's up a little bit bigger. We've seen that a time or two over the years with some of these giants. And I always tell my dad, he's lucky because he's like a normal person. He's not one of those uncoordinated giants. You see a lot of those guys like the George Murasons once upon a time, one of your favorites. Maybe Mark Eaton a little bit. I don't know if I'd put Mark Eaton in that category there. Jazz people know about him. John Stockton for sure. But some of those guys got a little bit of a, they just look like they could barely walk. And we had a guy across the street from us growing up as a kid, and he was kind of that way too. He was tall as my dad. And my dad, I think, was the third tallest guy on my street. And there was a street of like 25 houses. And my dad at 6'8" was the third tallest guy on the street. What kind of world are we living in? What kind of giants are we breeding in that neighborhood? But my dad was the most agile of them all, that's for sure. So luckily for my dad, he didn't get kind of that crazy like not 1 foot in front of the other gene or whatever it is called. I don't know. There's probably a scientific word. Add it to the list, Todd McFarlane. You got the big overalls over the top here, checkered shirt underneath. Got almost mummy wrappings around the arm here. You got those buggy whip arms, as they may say with him. You got the fingerless wrapping on here, I guess we'll call it. And then you got a taped up finger over here. It's been a long time since I've had these figures. So it feels like this white overalls wasn't as white, or it was a different color. Maybe it was gray in the past. I could be wrong and can't compare it, so we'll never know. We'll never know. I'm not looking at pictures of old ones. No way. Brown boots down here. You got some torn and tattered overalls going on. And it looks like he's got jeans under his overalls, which is a true power move. Of course, I've seen a lot of farmers in my day, and a lot of times it's just underwear, if that, and overalls is what I see. That's just what I've been told. It may be seen a time or two. Who knows? Looking at the articulation on this one, arms do go around, single jointed elbow, side to side, hands back and forth, side to side, head and neck back and forth, side to side. Got the collar there for Club Gray Skull. Tiny looks like a Club Gray Skull member. I would say that's your typical Club Gray Skull member. And then you get a little side to side on the feet, but that's it. There's no waist articulation. Well, there is waist articulation, but not really because of the overalls over the top. And there's nothing on the legs, just a straight up shot there. But once again, he is not Spider-Man, and he did not move like Spider-Man, as we know. But still, it basically walks that line of statue action figures, what this line just definitely represents. Let's see, what's it say on the bottom here? It's kind of washed in there a little bit. Let's see. Made in China. Huh. I was hoping for a year on the bottom. No year on the bottom, though. So, can't tell, but he does fit on a ringside collectible stand if you do need a stand for him. I don't know. I love the Devil's Rejects, as I said, as I lamented Todd McFarlane. So I'm all in on this line, but I gotta say, I wish they would have resculpted, redone these figures. Give us 2026 versions of the Devil's Rejects, House of 1,000 Corpses. I'll even take 3 from Hell. I would be all in on that. I'm all in either way, but this does feel less than. And for most people, especially if you have the old one still, you can skip this. You can skip it if you want to, but would love to see some better articulated figures here for Devil's Rejects. We'll see what happens maybe in the future, or build out the rest of the cast from the movies. I would love to see that too. Not sure what's in the card, but I believe Baby is coming. We'll see if we get old Cutter, Captain Spaulding, and others, and Otis, etc. in the future. Fingers crossed, I guess. But Tiny available now from Jay's. Go over there if you do need it. But what's your thoughts on Tiny? Can you believe what he did to that stump? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day. And then some. We got even more content for you on Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. Your best way to support the channel. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, which is also the name of my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show, available every Tuesday wherever podcasts are found, with video cast on YouTube. So for Tiny and No Stump, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?